Yeah, buddy. What's going on, everybody? Oh, I like when I have that brand thing up. What's up, everybody? Welcome to this live stream. This is a communication hack. This is in alignment with words create reality. I asked. I think it's almost going on a month. I love sage. I love the smell of sage. I think it was about a month ago. I was asking. I put a poll out. What are some topics you'd like to hear me speak about? And one of them was how words create reality. I think it was Boyson that asked for that one. So this is I'm putting this live stream out here. This is great if you want to get more you want to enhance your communication with yourself. You want to enhance communication with others. You want to be able to enhance your sense of empowerment. So this is a great. This will be a great thing to hear about and also practice. Like if you're watching this from YouTube, like, share, and subscribe. If you're watching this on Facebook, let me know where you're coming in from, where you're calling from. Say hello, bless up, and any questions that you have, I'll answer at the end of this. So this is about words and the words that we speak to ourselves. And there's a really cool quote by this woman Yehuda Berg, right? And I want to read this verbatim. Words have energy and power with the ability to help, to heal, to hinder, to hurt, to harm, to humiliate, and to humble. Yehuda Berg. This phrase, this quote really has hit home for me in the past several years, especially after working with this guy John Tompkins, who was a marriage and family or something therapist. But his whole function was about words, the words that we speak to ourselves and the words that we speak to others. So one of the things that John really settled, like one of the nuances of language that John put me onto and I began practicing is when he talked about the distinction between saying I am blank and saying I am experiencing. At the time, to give you a heads up, so I am two of the most powerful words in the English language because whatever you say after them, you become. So if someone's saying I, like, if you're, again, this is recorded at the beginning of the year, there may be certain positive affirmations that you're saying to yourself, like, mirror work. I do mirror work in the morning, like, hey, I am acknowledge this, I forgive myself, blah blah blah. I say these things in the mirror. A lot of people may use affirmations where it's like, hey, I am abundant, I am alive, I am this, I am that. So you're making yourself that state. You're basically locking that in, creating an energetic shift. Another way I hear a lot of people using I am is when they're claiming something that's an ego based, or that's like a mindset anchor. For example, saying things like I'm broke, I'm sad, I'm weak, I'm this. I notice that people say these types of things in passing, yet at the same time they're saying the way they're saying it, and with the tone that they're saying it, the frequency that they're saying it in, is really damaging themselves and locking them into that state. The issue with that is that when people lock into a certain state, it becomes even more difficult to get out of it. Think of it this way. If you're saying, if you're unconsciously saying to yourself, I'm worthless, I'm this, I'm that, even if you're saying it to in your head, that is still resonating in your cells. Your cells are slowly being like, oh, is that what we are? Okay, got you. Let's just keep spreading the love that this is what we are, right? So a lot of times when people are like, I'm sad, they're going through something, or they're like, I'm angry, they're going through something. I know for me, this really hit when I was doing a lot of work on my anger. When I started to look at, like, oh, I'm angry, I started recognizing, like, oh, junk, I'm locking myself. It's hard for me to get out of this. So when I was working with John, he gave me a little hack. He said, Paul, he said, listen, notice something different. And when next time you say that you're angry, I want you to say that you're experiencing anger. I said, what? What difference does it make? I'm still freaking angry. He said, just notice what the difference is. Notice what you feel. So at that time, I was always practicing reframing. So when I found myself saying something like, I'm sick of this. I, I remember this. I was like, I'm sick of this, or some random thing. I was like, okay, I get to reframe this. And I'm like, well, what am I experiencing? I'm experiencing frustration. I'm experiencing just, I started rattling off these things. And it was so cool because in the moment I noticed that once I said I am experiencing, I rattled off these things. It was as if I put everything that I was experiencing behind me. So I came back and I went to John. I said, John, what is this thing that you did to me? Right? Victim ass language. Anyway, I said, John, what was that? What was this hack that you gave me? He said, Paul, you get to understand when we say I am, it's beautiful because it can lock us into something. Yet when we say I am experiencing, we're allowing emotions and moods and things to flow in a natural. Well, he didn't say natural. This is going to come later. But he said we allow energies and emotions specifically to flow. Okay. So I'm like, this is freaking cool. Now, on top of that, as I started practicing that, and I still sometimes will say I'm this, especially if it's like an affirmation. Yet even when I'm experiencing joy, I'm like, man, I'm experiencing so much bliss right now. It allows me to be in the moment and experience it, and at the same time, it allows it to move on to what's next. Okay, if I'm like, I am so joyful, yeah, that's great. And it's like, there's this law of rhythm, which is something that I learned about when I was reading the Kabbalion and then the Hermetic principles. So basically, what this law of rhythm is it's stating that we're gonna move in and out of phases of life. Things transition. The one thing that's constant is change. So when we start saying I'm experiencing, we take on the ability to shift, take on the ability to adapt, and take on the ability to be present for whatever is present. So here's the thing, right? So this law of rhythm, if you look at it, if I'm going along this rhythm, if I'm saying I am this rhythm is going to stop because it's like, okay, I'm this. I'm locking into that part of the rhythm and failing to let it keep moving. Now, when I'm saying I'm experiencing, all of a sudden now that wave or that space that I'm in, I'm flowing with the rhythm. I'm flowing with this wave. And that may bring joy, that may bring sadness, that may bring anger, that may bring a whole bunch of things. Either way, whatever it brings, I'm riding with whatever's present. So I said a whole lot of words right there. And then what all comes down to is that if you're in a space of change or shifting, notice when you start saying stuff, or especially if you're beating yourself up and you're saying, I'm stupid, or I'm this, I'm that, like I'm foolish, I'm whatever. Take the opportunity to really pause and reframe. Look at like, okay, well, what is this that I'm experiencing right now? Because best believe, whatever's happening for you right now, it will shift. It shifts. If you're up on top, it may shift. You may be a little low. If you're a little low, you couldn't be up on top. It's what this is. So, with that said, I want you to be really particular about your words because your words will shape your reality. There's this other quote that I found from this woman, Rachel Wolchin. Be mindful when it comes to your words. A string of some words don't mean much to you. May stick with someone for a lifetime. That someone is you. Okay. The things that you say start locking in. So as soon as you recognize it, especially if it's something that you want to resist or you want to do away with locking in, start saying I am experiencing. Then notice what happens. Be present. Let your words shift. Enjoy. Listen, if you like to put a comment in, listen, like. If you're on YouTube, bless up. Hey, bless up for watching. This is great. This has worked for me. I'm integrating all these things that I learned while I was doing technically speaking. So, and plus, like these are some topics that I really like to talk about. So, listen, I love the feedback. Let me know how this was for you. Let me know. Come back to this video after you've noticed what it's like to say I am versus I am experiencing, and then notice what comes up. All right. Be well, everybody. Take care of yourself. I'm out until the next live stream.